Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good evening. I wish to Dr. Ihata and Miss Irene. Okay, today I'd like to do a presentation on the current issues of fisheries microbiology in relation to fish welfare and bioremediation. Okay, let's talk about fish welfare. Okay, fish welfare are composed of three major things, which are physical well-being, mental well-being, and natural living. Okay, there are several issues in fisheries regarding the fish welfare, which is their cage after caught. This is the fish where they are sold alive. They are being caged after caught. Plus unregulated fishing using undersized fishing nets, where all the small fish are also getting harvested, and shark fin harvesting. Okay, let's take a look at this picture. Okay, this what they practice, where they cut all the fins of the shark and they simply throw them overboard again. So they are still alive, but they couldn't afford to swim and feed, and they will eventually die out of starvation. Okay. Okay, let's talk about fisheries microbiology and fish welfare. Okay, microbes play an important role in aquatic areas, and they consist of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and microalgae. Okay, there are lots of roles of microbes in aquatic environment, which you can see over here. Bacteria, fungi, protozoa, microalgae, they will regulate the quality of water, and some of them are food source for other organisms. Okay, let's move on. Okay, just now I said that microbes are beneficial in water environments, but are all of them beneficial? Because in this picture, there's a fish, a goldfish that is infected with bacteria. Okay, let's move on. Okay, there are several parasitic microbes as well in the aquatic systems. Some bacteria such as Aromonas and Pseudomonas species can cause a disease that is called hemorrhagic septemia. Okay, this occurs more on freshwater. Okay, moving on. Vibriosis. Okay, vibriosis is another infection which is caused by Vibrio, Listonella, and Photobacterium. These occurs more on the marine environments. I saw a picture of a large grouper that is also can be infected with fibrosis. Okay, let's take a look at the solutions. Okay, what are antibiotics, probiotics, and what are the differences? Let's take a look at antibiotics. Okay, antibiotics is basically a type of antimicrobial substance that active against bacteria. It is widely used across the world, up to hundreds of tons per year, but yet the use of antibiotics may cause AMR, which is antimicrobial resistance, which make the bacteria more resistant to the medicine. So it will eventually cause more problem. Okay, probiotics in agriculture. Probiotics is a rather better option compared to antibiotics. They are actually live bacteria and yeast strains that is good for fish. Okay, they promote everything. You can see the benefits. Everything is beneficial for the fish. Okay, there are several strains that can be used to prepare the probiotics, such as Lactobacillus enterococcus, Carnobacterium, and Saccharomyces cerevisiae, the yeast. Okay, let's move on. Okay, how about vaccines? Okay, we are talking about, the whole world is talking about COVID-19 vaccines, but how about vaccines in aquaculture or in fisheries? Okay, yes, vaccines are also used in several farms in the world. This is the definition of vaccines. Okay, the proof is that vaccine efficiently prevents bacterial disease and a successful example is farming of salmon in Norway, where vaccines are made from possible for reduction of antibiotics. So they are using less than 1% of antibiotics at the moment. Okay. Okay, this is another picture of salmon. This one is not from Norway. So it is injured or infected. So I believe it is infected. Okay, let's move on to bioremediation. Let's take a look at these two pictures. The picture on the left shows bioremediation using microorganisms, and the one on the right, bioremediation using a plant, which is called phytoremediation. Okay, what is the definition of bioremediation? It is the use of organisms such as bacteria, fungi, or plants to treat contaminated areas. Okay, how is bioremediation possible? It is because of the enzymatic activities of the organisms. Okay, bioremediation needs to be specific. Where, yes, okay, if there are no specific bacteria or any organisms that can remediate the contaminants, they usually use genetic engineering approach to apply and target a certain type of organisms. So the new strains, the new genetic engineered bacteria or something like that would have an enzymatic activity to clean up the contaminant. Okay, how it is related to fisheries? I surely believe that bioremediation is very beneficial for fisheries and aquaculture, because it helps restoring saltwater and freshwater habitats, decreasing the biological oxygen demand, and it may purify toxins and heavy metals within fish that occurred bioaccumulation. Okay, let's take a look at one example. This is an oil spill that occur in the ocean. They have been using they're using a strain of bacteria that can engulf and break down the chains of hydrocarbons of oil and become carbon dioxide and water. Okay, this is the organism that is responsible, Carnivorax bercumensis. Okay, let's take a look at another example, heavy metal polluted water system. So heavy metal can come from factories, from farms, from any other resources. So it is a rather big problem, especially in fresh water. Okay, there's a study, an experiment actually, I found in YouTube, which they perform bioremediation of heavy metal. They use 4 strains of bacteria here, Viridibacillus, Sporosinasa, and Enterobacter, 2 types of Enterobacter cloacae, and the heavy metals are cadmium, lead, and copper. They run a few tests, and the results were very promising, and I've attached a link to the video. Okay. As a conclusion, if we do not perform bioremediation, or we don't practice, we don't do more research on bioremediation, how to make them more efficient, faster on a wide, they can do a more wide spectrum of contaminants. Okay, this will occur. Sadly, this occurred just in 2020 in Venezuela, because of the oil spill that occurred both in Venezuela and Maldives. Okay, about fish welfare. I would think probiotic, the use of probiotic and vaccines are more efficient compared to antibiotics. I do hope more research could be done, and all the farm fish and as well as wild fish are being taken care of. Okay, is there any question? Okay, thank you.